Hi Geminis, welcome to Siren Heal. Welcome to your mid-month reading. I hope all is well. Let's get started. I come to you humbly, God, thanking you for your divine guidance, providing messages of divine light and divine love in accordance with your divine will. What is it that the Gemini collective need to know? Yeah, we have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration, and play. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Yeah. Full disclosure, I tried to do your reading twice already, okay? I don't know what's going on here. It was just a lot of random things happening, so whatever. But this is the energy that you are carrying. Some of you guys are going through a spiritual awakening, all right? With spiritual awakenings, with upgrades, you know, some people might come into your life, some people might leave, so on and so forth, all right? Let's see if the message will continue from what I was getting before. With a previous reading, it was just talking about someone being on a fence about love, about loving someone. Like pretty much someone grew out of someone, all right? And there's a need to be more playful about that. I know it's easier said than done, but it's like two ways you can look at growing out of love. You can take it with grace, or you can double down, okay? So into a toxic level, all right? So I don't know what that energy is going to be, what the message is going to be for this one, but let's see. What's going on with the Gemini collective? What's the energy of this reading? What's going on for the rest of the month for Gemini? What do they need to know most to bring them closer to their higher self? Thank you. You have the Ace of Cups along with the Nine of Coins, and this did come out sideways, okay? So the Ace of Cups is a new window of opportunity, a new path of love, a new way of being, right? A new way of being when it comes to love. But it's also stemming from this need to be more independent with the Nine of Pentacles here, all right? This is moving forward, being single, happy, loving it, fabulous, all that. So I am assuming that this is going to pick up on what the previous reading was saying. If you are leaving a situation, or if you find yourself growing out of a situation, there's a need to kind of embrace that and understand the freedom of that, all right? It's like somebody was dwelling on like, damn, I mean, and someone intuitively knows that there's something better because their intuition is showing them that, yeah, it's showing them that. But it's just like, damn, the person that I'm with, why can't they just be that person? You know, and it kind of leads some guys, I said some guys. When I say guys, I don't mean male or female. It's leading some of you guys into more of a toxic land, all right? We do have the Six of Coins coming out in reverse, which is lack of reciprocity. We have the Chariot card coming out in reverse, which is not moving forward, and we have the Pit, okay? There's time. It's a time for you to get out of the pit of whatever this anguish is, okay? It's time for you to get out of this phase, all right? And as you get out of this phase, this relationship is going to, it has to shift as well, okay? By the way, I'm using a Tarot Bot deck. This is a new deck here. We have the King of Cups coming out again with the Seven of Swords. These are a lot of cards that just came out. All right, someone's not trying to let someone go. It's like, oh gosh. All right, I'm going to put these cards back. But we have the Two of Wands. It's like somebody's planning. And a Queen of Swords did come out in reverse as I picked it up, but I put it up right, all right? Someone's planning how to, it's like planning how to get someone back, how to work on this, you know? But it's like working, and which is great, you know, but it's like working on something that the universe is saying no to, all right? So that's why we have the Seven of Swords with the King of Cups here, emotional manipulation. All right. There's a need to lighten up a little bit. Let's see what else is going on with the Gemini collective. Six of Swords. Moving on to calmer waters. I mean, King of Cups coming out again. I feel like somebody's still like, okay, if two people are growing apart, one person is trying to stop that from happening, even though intuitively they know what time it is. With the High Priestess coming out in reverse, someone knows for sure what's happening, all right? They don't even have to think about it. With the Nine of Swords, it's like, yeah, I know what's happening here, and I'm saying no to the universe. I'm trying to defy fate. Like, that's the energy that's happening here. It's not even like, oh, why isn't this working out? I just don't get it. I thought they were the one. It's none of that. It's more like the universe is telling me one thing, and I am saying no. The universe is telling me to move on and that there's something better, and I am resisting. I am literally saying no. And that is just not the best way to go, right? I mean, it's like when spirit has a heavy hand when it comes to love or just in your life in general, and you feel a nudge, because we don't always feel strong nudges. But if you're feeling that strong nudge, it's like in your best interest to just go with it. Because it's like, it's going to happen regardless. It's just, is it going to be the easy way or the hard way? You know, so if you put up all this resistance, it's just going to cause more emotional turmoil and more spiritual damage than necessary. The best way to handle that would be to just deal with the pain of it. All right. That's another thing. Being honest with your emotions. Checking in with yourself, because the feeling that I'm getting here, the person who is like, no, I resist, universe, they are already on the fence about this relationship too. Okay? They're already on the fence about this love. They see that it's going nowhere. And I think it's just more like if the person was to check themselves a little bit. Wow, look at that. Nip this in the bud. This deceptive behavior, because it's causing someone to be toxic. If they check in with their emotions for real, they might realize that they don't have as much love for the situation, and that their motivation for this love might be based in ego. Okay? Meaning it might be based on, no, you can't leave me. You can't have anyone else. Or it might trigger feelings of insecurity. Or it might trigger fear of loneliness. You know, if somebody really taps in, they'll realize the love that they're showing is really based on something. It's based on some inner wounds, okay? And it's causing someone to double down into this energy. It's one thing if you want to put in work because you're madly in love, but then it's another thing if you're convincing yourself that you're madly in love just because you don't want to feel alone, right? So this is something that's definitely not giving equal reciprocity, but somebody's still fighting for it. It's something where like it's not balanced. It's a relationship that's not balanced, but someone's still fighting for it just out of being stubborn. I think Taurus had this energy too. If this is resonating with you so far, you should probably check out the Taurus reading. Whether you know someone who's a Taurus or not, or have Taurus placements, but it might give you a better side, another side of the story here. All right. This person, if this is whoever's doing this, it's like they're trying to fight. They're trying to, because they're kind of in their own phase, a dark phase. So it's like having this major change in their life is going to make them have to face themselves, those inner wounds. But it's those inner wounds that's making this person not want to leave the relationship. So it's a vicious cycle that's happening right now. All right, what is going on? Especially with the spiritual awakening, like you're just going to have to face it. Don't miss the boat on your awakening. All right? If this is you or someone else. This could be you or someone you're connected to. There's a lot of signs who's stepping into stubborn energy right now where they're trying to test fate. So, you're not the only one, all right? It's just where we're at right now, where it's like, do you want to face the truth, the harsh reality of what the universe is trying to tell you? or do you want to ignore it? And some people are just trying to, you know, just trying to get by. Some people just can't face this harsh reality that they're facing, you know, and I get that. What's the blockage for the Gemini collective? But obviously it has to be done. It's like, yeah, someone's on a fence. Someone's on a fence about this love. The thing is, and that's the thing, it's like someone's fighting for something that they have want. If they really tap in, they'll realize they have won it. They don't even wholeheartedly want this thing. They're not, if this is like a relationship where somebody's fighting for something that doesn't even make them completely happy. They know that they can find better elsewhere, but because they don't want this person to leave, or they don't want to feel like they were wrong, or they don't want to feel alone, you choose your poison, whatever that is for you. However your ego was triggered, because of that ego trigger, you don't want to let it go, and it's just causing like it's just causing unnecessary delays in progression, you know, especially if you're spiritual. Yeah, Two of Cups here. Especially if the spiritual awakening is on the line. It seems like this is a pivotal moment for you. All right, whoever, if this is you that's holding this up, it's a pivotal moment for you. Okay, this is going to signal your new awakening. This situation is Two of Cups, right? Two of Cups in reverse. It was soulmate energy. It's coming out in reverse. It's something, it's a soulmate connection. That's, the contract is either over or it's broken, okay? It seems like it became more of a burden than a connection, a love connection, all right? But someone is looking at it like, I'd rather just deal with this as a burden than live without them. Which can be, you know, that's sweet. That's romantic. But obviously it's also codependent, right? So we have to face that, all right? Six of Wands in reverse. Yeah, that ego is being triggered. It might even be like, yeah, well, I don't want anyone else to have this person too, right? And that's where the emotional manipulation comes in. So, you know, this is going to be different for everyone. Some people are going to go into really toxic mode with this energy. I do feel like that. It's happening for some of you guys, where they might be taking some emotional manipulative tactics to keep this party going, even if they don't even really want it anymore. They might be convincing themselves that they do just because they don't want to lose this person. Which is just, is not healthy. It's like, I will sacrifice the love that I have on the horizon for me, the healthy love that I have on the horizon for me, just so this person doesn't move on. Like, it's just, it's a little bit, it's toxic, all right? I don't feel like it's heavy toxicity. I just feel like someone's leaning towards that. I feel like that's where the bouncing back and forth is about, all right? Because someone is bouncing back and forth about the love for this person, so they might have moments where they can move on, but then they have these moments of like, wait, then that means they have to move on. They might worry themselves thinking about, I don't want any other woman touching him, or I don't want any other man touching her, you know, or I don't want any, you know, the genders. Don't let me go through this whole list. I don't want anyone else touching this person that I love. You know, that could be a trigger that brings someone back. You know, they might be taking steps forward and it might bring them back. It's something about the ego, though, that's being triggered here. And it's pushing them into, okay, well, now I'm triggered and now I want to find ways to get you back in my arms, you know, which is just, like I said, it's just stagnating your own energy, if that's you. All right. Wow, with the Wheel of Fortune, I didn't even realize a Chariot and a Wheel of Fortune coming out in reverse. This is a major upgrade on the horizon in love. It's a major overhaul. Someone is stopping their whole spiritual awakening, their own evolution, because their ego is getting in the way when it comes to love. All right. Someone, like I said, someone is following their intuition, and intuitively they know that it's time to go. But because their ego is getting triggered, it's just like, oh, I can't really leave this person. I don't want to let them go. I don't want to let anyone else have them, or I don't want to feel alone, or I don't want to feel rejected, however that's working out for you. But either way, however that's playing out for you, it's causing like a major stagnation for a major upgrade. Okay, you guys, this is what you're feeling to see. There's a major upgrade on a horizon here, and the energy is play. You're not, there's a need to be there's a need to let go and be a little bit more playful. Maybe even with this connection, be a little bit more lighthearted when it comes to that connection. Just allow for the ebb and flow. Even though it does seem like this connection is at the very least having a break, right? And it's probably, the reason why it's happening, it's probably because of the codependency and because of the ego, you know. So things have to kind of fall apart so it could come back together. All right, so we do have the Lovers card coming out now as advice with the Nine of Swords. So somebody's looking at it like, this has to be, we have such a strong soul connection. This has to be the one. How can it not be the one with how I feel? You know, this person's so different, or I never had a love like this before. Some people are thinking like that, and they're not realizing that there are soul contracts that have expiration dates, right? Someone doesn't want to admit that this situation or this story is closed for good. The thing is, you can't control that. You don't know what the future holds here. If you believe that everything is scripted, right? Then if you guys are supposed to come back together, you will. But right now, in this stage, you guys are meant to part. All right. Someone's ego is being triggered because they don't want to feel like, because they felt like it was such a soulmate connection. They're like, okay, well, if it's a soulmate connection, why are we breaking up then? That doesn't make sense to me. There's no doubt this is a soulmate connection. Okay, there's no need to overthink this. And just because you guys separate, it doesn't mean that it's not a soulmate. All right, there are multiple soulmates in this world. Friendships, obviously, along with the romantic relationships, jobs, co-workers, you know, there's multiple soulmates. Now, as far as the romantic soulmates, we have, this is my theory, this is how I look at it. I feel like we have, and based on my experience, we do have multiple soulmates that are meant to teach us various lessons. All right. So there's a lesson to pick up from this person, and you guys may or may not pick back up later on, you know, and that's something that you'll be able to handle more in hindsight. This person was without a doubt a soulmate, but it doesn't mean, I think people get caught up and think that there's one, and it makes people want to hold on tight to someone because of the spiritual connection. All right. Not all spiritual connections are meant to be there in your life forever. Some of them come in and out. Some of them end quickly. You know, it can be a chance meeting in the street and someone says something, and that was a soul connection that you guys had, and it wasn't meant to go further than that. So it's a different way to look at soul connections moving forward. But I do feel like that's where this triggered a spiritual awakening. It triggered a new way of looking at love. All right, a new way of being. Okay, awakening, a new way of being. All right. That's where this awakening comes in, because you're going to get some intuitive hits as to what love is, what soulmates are. You're going to get more clarification. So now you won't be able to grip on tight the next time these types of relationships come along. All right. There's more of a holistic way of looking at soulmates that might be a bit more healthier, that'll stop the ego from being triggered. All right, so it seems like that's a lesson to be learned. It seems like this relationship actually triggered, it jump-started this lesson when it came to soulmates. This might be the first soulmate that someone has met or dealt with, or, you know, the first time that they felt a spiritual connection this strong before. All right, and that's just the beginning. All right, so there's a need to play. Be excited, like, oh, this is what love can be. You know, there's a need to have more of a lighthearted way of looking at this, all right? If you're having a hard time stepping away from this, just try to, it'll happen. It'll happen. It's fine. I'm not worried about you guys. Especially because you're going through a spiritual awakening, you're going to get those downloads. And you guys are already highly intuitive right now. Your intuition's very much on point. So you're going to get the downloads that you need so you can look at things in a different way. Just make sure that you're keeping your mind open as far as what these downloads are telling you. All right? All right. What is a power animal? Thank you. Yeah, look at that. Beast spirit. Sweet results await. There's a major upgrade for whoever's doing this, who's holding themselves back by holding on to a relationship and trying to say no to fate and destiny. Saying no to what their intuition is telling them. Your intuition is not going to lead you somewhere for no reason. It's not going to break up a relationship for no reason. Something wasn't working, and deep down you know that. All right? Spirit knows what you want. All right, think of this situation as a training period, and you're about to meet the real deal. Don't know how far it is. It'll be different for everyone. Don't know how far out on the timeline it'll be, but you're moving into a more a healthier mindset, a healthier emotional state, and in turn you'll attract healthier love experiences. Sweet results await. This is beautiful. There's a need to be a bit more optimistic here, okay? This is only just the beginning. It's like someone just woke up to love for the first time, and now they don't want to let it go. It's only the beginning. Cat spirit, claim your independence. Yeah, as I mentioned, there's some type of codependency because someone awakened someone's heart. All right, and because of that, you're looking at that one person as they were a catalyst, but they're not. They might not necessarily be They're not the only one who has access to your heart. They're the spiritual lesson that they brought is not to be confused with the vessel, right? It's not to be confused with the person. Don't make the person the end all be all because of the lesson that they gave you. All right? Spirit is the one that gave you the lesson through this person, through this relationship. But it's not this person that's the that can always give you this. All right. So there's a need for you to be a little bit to loosen the reins and detach yourself from this person a little bit, because it might be codependency where you look at this person as the light when the spirit just uses this person to show you your light. All right. Claim your independence. You're stepping into King of Pentacles energy. Having your own, all right, as that King of Pentacles came out earlier. Porcupine spirit, yeah, time for a beginner's mind. Yeah, this is a reboot, a reset. You're getting a do-over. Embrace it. Have fun. Sweet results await. Play. Yeah, look at that with the King of Pentacles energy there. Take the lead. Lion spirit. Be compassionate. Co-create with spirit. All right. So the lesson here was learning, having a clear idea of what soulmates are. Some of you guys, you might have went through a heart chakra opening with this relationship, and that's why you're looking at them as the light of your world, right? Not realizing that they were just a vessel to bring you closer to your light, yourself. And so this became a lesson in codependency and being more independent in a relationship. With the Stag spirit, being more independent in a relationship, okay? This is a new way of looking at love, a new way of showing up in love, a healthier way, a less detached way, not saying and detached in a healthy way, all right? Lion spirit, be generous of spirit, be generous of, be compassionate with yourself as well as the other person. Whoever's the person, both parties need to be compassionate with each other. Because it does seem like this is a divine parting. It does seem like just things are just flowing in opposite directions, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. Like people are just growing apart. Just be compassionate with each other. This is tough for both parties, all right? Crow spirit, co-create with spirit. You guys are moving into sweet results await land, okay? You're moving into a beautiful new day, a beautiful new cycle. As you awaken, you will be given more spiritual abilities, you know, higher, an increased power as far as manifestation. All right, so be excited about that, because right now you have the ability, you're giving more, you're being given more of an ability to create exactly what you want. So use this situation as a springboard to really figure out, like, okay, all right, well, this is what I didn't like about that, and this is what I did like. Moving forward, I want this, that, and that, you know, and use this as a lesson. Take that, you know, journal about it. What did I like about this? What didn't I like? Moving forward, what do I like? What do I want? You know, Spirit is here with you, guiding you. Spirit has a heavy hand right now with the Gemini collective, that's for sure. All right, so you're about to go through an awakening if you haven't already. All right, this separation might be part of, it is part of it, the awakening. It might be the catalyst. All right, you got this, though. Thank you so much. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, add me on IG. This Tarot and Heal. Also, check out the info box below. I do personal readings. Also, if you'd like to be an angel donor, check out the Patreon link below. Thank you so much to the patrons so far. Until we meet again, peace.